Hey, open it there at the beginning. Right? No, no, open it. Turn it. Show him that. Hey, look at this, my man. Hold it right there. Now, this man right here, all right? This is Leo Scipio Africanus, right? He conquered Hannibal in the Second Punic War, right? He named the continent of Africa after himself, right? Amerigo Vespucci came over here during the Spanish conquest. They conquered the Americas. He named America after himself. When you say I'm an African American, you say I'm a descendant of these two white men. Is that possible? Did you know Jesse Jackson came up with that term in 1985 to call us African Americans? It was politically correct. You know the white man was cool with that. He said, yeah, these Negroes laws. Yeah, call them African American. Because every, look at this. Read this right here. Read the date and read what right beside it. You turn around and read it.
70 AD.
Uh-huh.
Hebrew.
In 70 AD, before we came over here on slave ships, we knew we was the Hebrews.
That's right.
We knew we was God's chosen people. We knew we was the Israelites. But when we got off the slave ships, what?
1860.
Uh-huh.
Slave.
That's what they called us, slaves. Read.
1900. Nigger.
Then they changed us to nigger. Read.
1920. Negro.
They call us Negroes in the 20s. Read.
1940. Color.
Then they separate. The colors got to drink out of their water fountain, and the whites out of this. They call us colored. Read.
1960.
Uh-huh.
Black.
Now they call us black in the 60s. Black power. Read.
1980.
Now, 1980s until today,
African American.
two white men. Why we the only people they changed our nationality so many times? Why? Can you answer that for me? Give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. Well, 40. 47. 37. Thank you, officer. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Watch this. This is Moses telling the Israelites, if y'all don't keep God's commandments, all these curses going to start happening to you. Watch this curse.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
He said, my Israelites, they're going to become an astonishment. That means when people look at the Israelites, they're going to be like, wow. Read.
A proverb.
A proverb is a wise saying. Like niggas love chicken and watermelon. It has some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Read.
And a byword.
A byword. What's a byword? African American. God said because of our disobedience, we're going to become a proverb and a byword. Hold that and go to Lamentations 2:15.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
All that pass by.
So in our communities, when you see they got these tour buses coming through here full of the other nations, when you see they go on their bike trails through our community, you see all white people riding their bikes through our community, what God say?
All that pass by.
What?
Clap their hands at thee.
And what else?
They hiss.
Uh-huh.
And wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
He said they white folk, they come through your community and be like, look what we did to the sons of God. They are destroyed. They look at the news and be like, look at these niggas. Look what we did. They rejoice in that because we act a fool. We don't have no clue who we are. We don't have no clue we are a raw lineage of people. We act like the niggas they turned us into.
Bring it out.
You understand? Because of Christianity. Christianity tells you can do whatever you want to do with no retribution, with no consequences. They say God's laws are done away with. All you got to do is believe. That's not true. God said, keep my commandments and live. If you don't, you're going to die. We are in a dead state. We follow after. I just had an older gentleman come up here trying to tell me he was an Arab. He's saying he come from Ishmael, not understanding that Ishmael is Arabs.
Bring it out.
And we up here bringing the scriptures out to him to show him that you're not an Arab. You are an Israelite, telling him the Israelites went through slavery. Did you know that was in the Bible?
I mostly read and study mine from the Quran.
You studied from the Quran. Let's get that Quran right there. Because we filter all things through the Bible. The Quran, you know what the word Quran means? Do you know what the word Quran means? It means a recitation. Do you know who recited and where he recited from? Matter of fact, get that Babylon and Timbuktu. We're going to show you something. Because Islam is not the way for our people. Our people been involved in Islam since 50s, right? 60s. Elijah Muhammad and all them. What has it gotten us? Are we still getting beat down in the streets? Are we still getting shot down in the streets? Do we still got dope in our communities? What has it gotten us? Are our women still in abortion clinics? Are they still killing our babies? What has it gotten us? It has not freed us. Is it not called the Black Messiah Jesus Christ to come back to get us? Islam is not the way. Right. We're going to show you that Islam is pagan. That's right. That's the religion of Arabs. God tell you not to go down and bow down to a rock. When they go and bow down to that cobblestone, they are bowing down to a rock. That's right. Read that.
The book of From Babylon to Timbuktu.
Yep.
Islam and Judaism. The Prophet Muhammad.
Who?
Muhammad.
Adopted
many principles and laws from the Jewish religion.
You see what he got his philosophy from? You see where he came back and he got his monotheism from? He was following your forefathers around. That's right. Read.
First of all, the basic idea of monotheism.
See? Monotheism is one God. Why would he have to come to a one God monotheism, a one God religion? Read.
Which is the belief in one God.
Read.
The Jewish confession of the unity of God.
Jump down.
Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar. The Day of Atonement, the Sabbath,
Read.
Much of the Bible, and narratives.
All right. Go ahead, read.
And many points of the ritual law. Incidentally, the Jews pray 3 times a day facing the city of Jerusalem, and the Muslims, true believers, pray 5 times a day facing the city of Mecca.
So he knew the Jews prayed 3 times towards Jerusalem. So he came back, go here. So he came back and told them we're going to pray 5 times toward Mecca.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, read that.
When Muhammad was born, many Arabs were still worshiping the sun, stars, spirits, and idols.
You hear that? When Muhammad was born, they was idol worshiping. They worshiped the sun, the moon, the stars, things that God created. He created those things not to be worshiped. They ought to be of service to us. Read.
The Arabs possessed 360 idols.
How many idols did they have?
360 idols.
You see that? When Muhammad was born, they had 360 gods. Read on.
One for each day of the year.
You see that? They had a God for every day of the year. Now, he done followed your forefathers around. Now he said, I'm going to do this monotheism thing. Go ahead, read that.
After Muhammad became a camel driver.
What was he?
A camel driver.
Muhammad was a prophet?
A camel driver.
He was a camel driver. Read.
He traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt, transacting business with merchants of every kind. On his business trips, he met Jews.
Who did he meet?
Jews.
He met Jews. The Jews are black. That's us. Read.
He interrogated them.
He did what?
Interrogated them.
When you get interrogated, what's happening? Vigorously. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's in your face, hot lamp. You know what I'm saying? Right where you was at last night. What you were doing? Why y'all do this? Why y'all do that? He was interrogating the Jews. Read.
He interrogated them concerning the tenets of their religion.
He wanted to find out what was our religion about. What was our worshiping our God about? Read.
He frequented the environment of the Jews.
He always came around. Read.
Of the Jews and their rabbis, mostly because they were merchants and an omnipresent ethnic group.
And they say, when we came over on the slave ship, let me see that picture. When we came over on the slave ships, right here, you see that? See how they got us packed in there? We were doctors, lawyers, architects. You know what I'm saying? We were all of those things. And they shackled us and started treating us like animals. You know, the Islamic religion came 622 years after Christ died.
Right.
It's a new religion on the earth. But when Muhammad was following our forefathers, all these inventors, these doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying, engineers, architects, he was learning from us, stripping from us. Go ahead and put it down. We'll finish reading.
Okay. Because he could not read or write.
What Muhammad, what?
He could not read or write.
He could not read or write what?
His ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him.
Because Muhammad could not read or write, you got the Quran, a recitation. Everything he heard, he told to a scribe to write it down. Now they saying that this is a religion. Right. This is a false religion given to Arabs. This is not your religion. You understand? Give me that. Give me this right here. Open that Quran. Get that. Get one of these right here. Read that right there.
And remember.
Hold on. First read that. We're going to read the book we in and then read that.
Quran, Surah 2 and 47.
Is this a real Quran? Can you tell? This is a Quran. Hold on. I went to the Muslim mosque and picked that up. I went to the mosque where them damn Arabs was and told them I was thinking about Islam. And they gave me that. That's a real Quran. Let me show you something. Read that.
Surah 2 and 47.
Yeah.
O children of Israel.
Why is an Arab book talking to the children of Israel? Read.
Remember my special favor which I bestowed upon you.
So Arabs will read that and they know that we God's chosen people. But they'll sit up and tell you in their religion that they are the princesses of God. God gave them riches. He gave them that. Abraham gave them the princes. They were 12 princes. He gave them riches when he kicked Hagar out. But the promises of this Bible do not belong to them. It belongs to the children of Israel. That's why in the Quran, when Muhammad overheard our forefathers talking, he heard them saying what?
O children of Israel, remember my special favor which I bestowed upon you.
You see that? This is what he reciting to somebody who writing it down because Muhammad couldn't what? Read or write. You understand? This ain't the religion for you. Read that what you got. When I say it's called a book of recitation, watch this.
The book of Surah 2 and verse 60. And remember when Moses prayed for the water, when Moses prayed for water for his people, we said strike the rock with your staff. Then gushed forth from there 12 springs. Each group knew its own place for water.
He's talking about the Israelites in the wilderness. You understand? It's not talking about Arabs. Go and get Numbers 26 and 11. But I'm going to show you what he was reciting that he heard from our forefathers. This ain't nothing but toilet paper. You can't find not one prophecy in this book. Read.
Numbers, right.
Yeah.
Numbers 20 and verse 11.
Now we reading out of the Bible. Read.
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice.
So now if I was listening to Jews talking about their history out of the Bible, of course if I'm reciting it, I'm going to put it in there. You understand? That's where that came from. Right. That's not the religion. God, give me that in 1 Maccabees 1 and 20.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 20. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
This is your forefathers, the Hasmonean dynasty, Judah Maccabees and his sons, right? It said, I'm going to walk in the covenant of my fathers. Read.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
God forbid we should forsake the law and the ordinances. Read.
we will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion.
Do what?
To go from our religion.
So our religion is God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
That's our religion. That's what our forefathers died to keep. You read in this Bible, some of our forefathers, God said don't eat pork. They were putting some of our forefathers to death because they would not eat pork.
That's right.
Now, you go into Wendy's and you get the double cheeseburger with the bacon on top. They put pork and ice cream to keep us in sin.
Right.
It's crafty. Give me that. Psalms 83. It's crafty counsel what these nations do because they know that our sin keeps us disconnected from God.
That's right.
They give us all these different religions. They give us Islam. They give us Egyptology. They give us Pan-Africanism. Got our people scattered all over the place into all different religions instead of doing the one thing God told us to do, keep his commandments.
That's right.
Read what you got.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Our enemies, these other nations, all the nations that took part in putting us in slavery and turning us away from our true identity. Our enemies make a tumult. Guess what they call it? The United Nations. Read.
And they that hate thee,
the nations that hate us,
have lifted up the head.
They have lifted up the head. The white man is the head of this. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They taking crafty counsel against God's people. The Israelites is God's chosen people.
That's right.
These nations have taken crafty counsel. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against the hidden ones. We are the hidden ones. Because when you walked up here, I asked you what your nationality was. You told me you was an African American.
Right.
And you not. You an Israelite.
Right.
You the son of God. You have lost your nationality. Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
What these nations say?
Come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
How do you cut somebody off from being a nation? You put a chain on his neck for 300 years. And then when you take the chain off, you give them a white Jesus. And then you tell them, God love everybody. Love your enemy. Even though I'm whipping your back, hanging you on the tree, you got to love me.
Right.
That's how you cut somebody off from being a nation. You cut somebody off from being a nation by putting them in a ghetto. Putting drugs in their community. Putting abortion clinics in their community. Putting bad food in their community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dropping off AR-15s to the little children in the community. Getting in the education system with poor education. Don't even want to pay the teachers to educate us, and then when they do educate us, they give us a white man's education.
Right.
We don't learn nothing. We don't learn nothing past Martin Luther King. We don't learn nothing past slave ships. Who were we before we got over them slave ships? Who were we during the Moorish Empire? Moors mean black. We were ruling.
Right.
We were ruling during the Dark Ages. They call it the Dark Ages because black people was ruling. But they won't tell you your true history. They'll say, nigga, you got off a slave ship and that's all you good for.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.